내 왕관에 빛이 나 잊지 마 지난 나를 잊지 마 We so fly 저 새끼도 We so fly yeah 정말 조신의 왕대 놈 미쳐버린 범광의 flow 개체 출신의 영대 몸 그게 내가 곧 사는 법 미의 걱정은 말라고 나도 잃을 것만 타고 바꾼 뒤뒤에가 누구 내가 챙겨다 잡수고 말이 안 되지 yeah 네가 계란이 yeah 범으로 태어났지 적어도 너처럼 약하진 않지 족밥들은 강제로 단지 속가 존나게 어이없지 싹 다 죽여 난 예의 없이 새끼 그래 너 예외 없이 플렉싱 난 없지 필요 다 없지 Who's the king who's the boss 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만 산 새끼들 당장 놈의 목을 쳐 자 울려라 대신 자 울려라 대신 자 울려라 대신 자 울려라 대신 자 울려라 자 울려라 한강에 먹고 곧바로 난 저 새끼로 날아 나를 타기엔 이 나라 아직 여전히 작아 누가 시간은 그 미래 내 시간은 더 빙상들 틱탁슨 빙새끼도 면상에 아침을 꽉 뺐 꺾인 적이 없는 맥주 우리 박수역 비리며 좀 참 감사해 내가 천천히 메꾸자 그런 이유로 약간 발단에 애잔하게 끝이 없네 재능이 없는 거지 뭐 원하는 건 모두 가졌지 이제는 물들 가져야만 만족이 될지 내가 원했던 건 너 담은 돈 담은 걸 이 다음은 도대체 뭐지 그 다음은 그래 뭘 관심이 느껴지는 현타 위가 없는 현상 위험보다 난 이젠 강하대 맘보다가 이대로 적중하고 I'm a king I'm a boss 새겨놓아 내 이름 이만 산 새끼들 당장 놈의 줄 I'm a king I'm a boss 다 알잖아 내 이름 이만 산 새끼들 당장 놈의 먹을 줄 자 울려라 대신 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 자 울려라 대신
Thank you, August D. I think that was August D. Some K-pop rapper guy. It's a good song though. Tyson, how you doing?
Better than I ought to be, as Dave Meltzer would say. Or what? No, wait. I botched it. I don't know. Dave Ramsey. There we go.
Dave Ramsey. So how was your week?
It was a slow week.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know, they got summers here, so nobody's doing anything.
Oh, yeah. We had a heat wave here. It was unheard of.
Oh, was it like 80?
No, it was actually in the 90s.
Oh.
Which was like a summer.
Yeah, it's like 90 at like 8 o'clock here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was like a heat wave all week. Is that go outside and want to punch somebody in the face? It's so hot.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that. You go swimming?
No.
I go swimming. I haven't been swimming in a while, but I do go swimming. We have 3 pools here, so
I used to go swimming at the gym. I think that was the last time I actually like swam.
like those laps.
Yeah, and then I noticed like this class of old people kicked me out, so I stopped doing that. I got bullied. I got bullied by the geriatrics.
Yeah, they don't play.
No shit. They love their little hot tubs and their little fucking water weight shit.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing.
And then you got the people that think they're fucking Michael Phelps. And you gotta
I
get
hate
out of
the
their
people
way.
who are like in your lane because they got all the lanes and then they want to swim like, oh, this pool and you want to swim in my lane.
Right. It's just crazy.
But I never move.
Why would you? Especially if you're first.
Yeah, well, because they want you to move, but it's like, nope. They think I can.
Well, you get like some little special training advantage for one specific lane.
Yeah, they think they can force you out, but I ain't going nowhere.
Let's go ahead and jump into Raw.
All right.
We are in Columbus, Ohio. The Walkers are Jey Uso, then Cody Rhodes, because they're wrestling later for the King of the Ring semifinals. We got Tiny Perez and Finn Balor. Then Jade Cargill, same thing with Cargill and Tiny. Then we have Seth's husband and Bailey, and same thing. Rollins' group comes out, the group that they're too lazy to name or they can't come up with a name. Pick your poison. Yeah. It's important. They need a name. Strike Force. So Rollins gets on the crowd for being stupid again because they booed him and then they cheered and participated in the Seth freaking Rollins part of his little spiel. And then they chanted for Punk. And then they sung his song, Rollins' song. And then Rollins is like, you know what? You don't even know what you want, so I don't give a fuck. So then he shits on Reigns, Punk, and Cody. He said he made them all. And he's like, I was the first world heavyweight champion and NXT champion. Then he says he'll handle the opposition diplomatically, but if diplomacy fails, see LA Knight. Bronson took out LA Knight. Braun's going to do the same to Penta tonight. And then Rollins says everyone thinks they're at the top. Gunther, Cena, Goldberg, Punk, and the King of the Ring people. But they're all vying for second place because my briefcase is the finish line.
Yeah. Nothing new.
So we had Braun Breaker versus Penta. Breaker dropped Penta on the ring post and elbow dropped him on the announce desk. And then Breaker won clean after Penta springboarded right into a spear, which was kind of cool. But it was a boring match. And then Rollins came out after, told Penta this was his one warning. Stay out of our shit. It was just, I don't know.
Maybe it's good for Penta to be in this main event thing that's happening, whatever you want to call it.
You think so?
Sure. Why? It's good for him. Like he's getting the main event shine, Is it going to help him? I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure it will.
Well, it can't hurt him, especially like if he's with Braun and Rollins.
Yeah, but like, I don't know who's he going to beat. I guess Bronson Reed.
Of course.
Because, he's in a very important role of being the loser of the group.
I think the question is who's not going to beat Bronson Reed?
Yeah, you got to have a fall guy.
Well, then we had Adam Pearce backstage. Styles walked in, and Pearce tells him that the Intercontinental title match for Night of Champions with Dominic Mysterio's off because he's injured. Styles doesn't believe it, but Pearce said he saw Dominic's medical shit. And Pearce assured Styles that he's still the number one contender, and Styles was like, okay, cool. So then New Day and Grayson Waller are next. New Day are facing McTurd and Balor next Raw. And then Waller's been blacked because he's like, hey, don't talk to New Day like that. And yeah. So we had a Goldberg interview. Gunther embarrassed Goldberg in front of his wife, son, and community. Goldberg can't let the verbal assault and utter lack of respect go unchecked. Bill vows to show Gunther who Goldberg really is. And Gunther put himself in Goldberg's retirement match. He says he's going to beat the fuck out of him. So it's now a title match.
Apparently, it was announced last week, and I missed it.
Oh, well, I missed it too.
Well, they didn't say it, but when they showed the graphic, it said title match.
I see. Okay. Can't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
So we had the Judgment Day backstage. They're sad because of Liv Morgan, and Balor tries to rally them together, and he actually does a pretty good job. He's like, oh, me and McTurd, we're going to take the tag champions next week. Dom, as soon as your ribs are fixed, you're going to take out AJ Styles. Then he says something to No Definition Rodriguez, gets her pissed off intentionally. He's like, yeah, I want to see that. Go take out Rhea Ripley. It's good stuff. Good job, Balor. Then we had some girl bullshit. Bayley and ugly NXT chick were cunty to each other. Then they calmed down. Ugly NXT chick gets the title shot if Bayley wins against Seth's husband. So then they're cool.
Yep. Looking like we're getting well, I'll wait.
Cool. Then we get a girl match. Jade Cargill won somehow. So we have Asuka versus Jade Cargill for the girls tournament. And they had a stare down.
I don't know what I should say about this match. Hey, Jade looks good, though, so there's that.
All right. So she hasn't improved?
Well, no. But she's not, I don't know. She's not.
I wouldn't, I haven't said, when I saw her, she's not terrible. She's not the greatest.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying she can't wrestle, but
I wouldn't say that.
What do you want from her? She'd be doing the flips and shit.
She's a big bitch. She just needs to fucking crush people. She doesn't need to wrestle.
Yeah. These people, they're brainwashed by the Meltzy star bangers. Of course.
Dominic Mysterio had a commercial interview. He misses Liv Morgan and his ribs are hurt. And they're still doing the boo shit where he talks and they boo over him, despite the fact that they cheered their asses off when he won his stupid belt. So crowds are dumb.
And they cheer him when he wrestles too.
Yeah. So
when he was wrestling and they were doing the dirty, dirty Dom. So as Seth Rollins said, they don't know what they want.
Exactly. So Sheamus in the Losers Club backstage. Apparently Sheamus thinks Natty and No Talent Dupree would make good world girl tag champions or whatever. So Sheamus apparently got hit in the head really hard last week. And then the losers tell Sheamus it's a shame he didn't win last week. And then Rusev interrupts and he shoos Tozawa and the losers away, which I thought was funny. And then they talk shit, Sheamus and Rusev. And then Rusev says he handles his business in the ring like a god. while Sheamus handles his business in the back like a snake. And yeah, just tease a match between the two. Get Sheamus away from the losers.
What is he doing with them? Is what I want to.
I know, right?
That's what I want to know. Like, why? Why is he in this? He sticks out like a sore thumb. He's everything that they're not. I don't know.
It's I don't either.
Like, yeah. Why is he friending them of all people?
Well, then we have Gunther. He's pissed. And last week was supposed to be a celebration. His celebration after reclaiming what's rightfully his, the World Heavyweight Championship. But instead, none other than Bill Goldberg walked out, looked him straight in the eye, and said he's next. Gunther's been doing a lot of thinking about what it means to be next. Normally, it's a spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, and then you're looking up at the lights like a dope. But Bill Goldberg is the most destructive man in his generation. But this isn't 1999. It's 2025, and right now, I'm the guy. I'm the best professional wrestler this company has ever seen, and this belt proves it. Gunther says he's heard Goldberg's interview, and as intense as he was, it'll never change Gunther's perception of him. And that's of a 58-year-old one-trick pony who can't even lace Gunther's boots. And he looks into the camera and he apologizes to Goldberg's wife and son for all the things he's going to do to Goldberg at Saturday night's main event. He says it's his responsibility to make sure that the myth, the legend of Bill Goldberg dies.
So I wonder if Goldberg can get Gunther up in the jackhammer.
I don't know. The way he was winded on Raw, with Raw.
You know, when the time comes, I wonder if he's going to be able to get him over.
We'll see. Is he going to hurt himself before the match? I don't know. I'm kind
training.
Yeah, he already hurt himself training earlier. Like, I've been training so hard for this retirement match.
I don't know if he was saying that.
I'm pretty sure he did. He said it in an interview.
And he might have been playing it up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's playing it up. His match wasn't even set yet. He didn't have a match booked. So what's to play up?
I don't know. Just like he's overcoming stuff. He's trying to play himself as the underdog. He's 58. You know, he's hurt.
So how many spears and jackhammers do you think we'll see?
Well, at least one set. Maybe he goes for a second set.
Here's the question. Do you think Goldberg is going to beat Gunther?
I'm up in the air on it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's his last match, allegedly. Now, there was something on during his interview with Cole where he was like, yeah, it's my last match. And then Cole's like, oh, what if you win? Well, that'd be an interesting dilemma.
Yeah, that's why I don't think he's going to win, because they keep playing that up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm in the air on it.
And he can't fucking win. 58-year-old Goldberg cannot be the best professional wrestler in WWE. That just...
Well, it would definitely add shock value.
It would add something.
Because you got to remember, this is going up against AEW's biggest show of the year. So, you know, they want to steal the headlines. What better way to steal the headlines than 58-year-old Goldberg becomes champion? Now, maybe Seth Rollins cashes in soon after, like same night, and then that's more of a headline. Goldberg becomes champion, Seth cashes in. Oh my God, stop watching All In and come to WWE and watch this commercial with wrestling in between it.
Yeah. Man. I am interested in the match. I will say that. I want to see Goldberg get not pop a powerbomb, but just powerbombed. Or see if he chokes out Goldberg.
Yeah, like is Goldberg? How many is he going to be able to bump? And here I go talking about bumping. Did you see the? Oh, well, we could talk about it during Night of Champions, but
all right,
bumping was a big thing this week.
We had some more girl bullshit. Seth's husband said something stupid. Sami Zayn was next. Cross interrupted him, talked some shit, and then Sami just slugged him. And he says he has a match booked at Night of Champions. And then Cross and Scarlett laughed about it.
Yep, I got him right where I want him.
Sure did. Then we had a girl match. Ugly NXT chick cost Bayley the girl belt. Bayley was wrestling Seth's husband for her, and ugly NXT chick and Bayley were pissed off at each other after that.
Yep, dumb babyface syndrome.
We have a McTurd hype video. My only note is fuck you.
I missed that one.
Ugh.
It's a good thing I did because I would have missed it.
He was talking tough, like, "Oh, you don't know the storm that's coming." Like, fuck you, you losing bastard. Penta kicked Gable's ass backstage. Probably an excuse. He got him in the sacrifice thing that he does. Gable's supposed to be having surgery, so I think that's a excuse to get him off TV for a minute. Or at least injured.
He got hit with WWE's hit with the injury bug. Apparently, Otis also is injured, and Grande Americana's injured too. So, injuries all around.
There's Dominic. There's Liv. Somebody else got hurt too. It's crazy. More girl bullshit. No Definition Rodriguez talked. Ripley came out, so they fought. And then Tiny Perez came out and helped No Definition Rodriguez take out Ripley. Tiny and No Def are friends all of a sudden.
Yep.
And then we had an Asuka interview. She said no one's ready for Asuka. And then Io came and she officially said that Damage Control is dead. Not in those exact words, but pretty much.
Yeah, she said something like, "We don't talk about that anymore."
Or we're not in damage control.
No, yeah.
So we had Adam Pearce again. Ripley and No Definition Rodriguez are having a street fight at Night of Champions. And I appreciated this because Ripley just burst into the little locker room that Pearce was sitting in. And Pearce wasn't even surprised. He's like, "Hello, Ripley. How about a street fight?" Cool. Then we had Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. Cody won with a crossroads. They played like they were friends, but I didn't see it. Like, Cody was using closed fists. He was kicking Jey. I don't know, man. They do the story shit, but they don't like do it in the ring.
Well, they
like
said.
If you watch... Good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, they said they had a gentleman's agreement. Is they're gonna, fight and then loser buys the round at the bar or whatever. So.
Yeah, but they were talking about, this is the purest form of competition because you're your buddy's not going to cheap shot you. While 5 minutes later, Cody's cheap shotting Jey Uso. And just, I don't know. That just bugged me.
Was there a cheap shot?
Jey Uso sitting in the corner. He's looking up at Cody. Cody's just kicking him.
Looking.
That's not wrestling. And first of all, you don't punch in wrestling.
You can punch. You just can't use closed fists.
No, punching is supposed to be an illegal move.
No, having a closed fist is illegal.
What is a punch?
The ref was there. He would have said.
They don't do that anymore. Like, remember when they used to say, "Hey, no, you keep that fist open."
Yeah,
that's why they used to chop, because you can't punch. So I don't know. That just bugged me. But yeah, Cody won. Predictable. And they're blowing their wad on the Orton Cody thing. I wish that was more of a preliminary feud instead of a side quest.
And I was surprised. And Rikishi did not upload a thing this week, so no thoughts. Maybe he just like, I don't know.
Maybe he's just sitting in a dark room by himself.
Yeah.
But that was Raw. Let's go ahead and jump into SmackDown. We are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Walkers this week are Stratton, Tiffany, and Nia Jax, because they have a forever feud later on. We got the Street Profits, Zelina Vega, then Julia. They have a match later for the whatever girls belt Zelina has. And then Jade Cargill and Asuka. I think they have I don't know if they announced that they have a stare down, but they have a stare down thing later. They got Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton came out before Cody could say anything. Orton glazes the match Cody had on Raw with Jay. And then the video fucks up, so we don't hear shit. But thankfully, I don't pay for Netflix, and I pirate my shit, so I got it all. Orton says he doesn't know why Cody wants to win he says he knows Cody wants to win King of the Ring. If there were any other circumstances, Orton would agree. But Orton needs the crown. Orton doesn't want to just win number 15. He wants to redeem himself from last year. Because, remember he lost to Gunther.
Yep.
And he also says he owes Cena for screwing him at Backlash. And Orton says he loves Cody, but there's nothing Orton won't do to win. And he vows to hit Cody with the 3 most dangerous letters in the WWE. And Cody says there's 30 championships between Cena and Orton. He shouldn't feel bad for getting screwed by Cena. And then Cody says if Orton needs the crown, Cody needs it just a little bit more. And after Night of Champions, RKO will be the 3 most dangerous letters. But he won't be King of the Ring. I will. I thought that was boring too. Did you see it?
I did see it. Because I watched it. I watched it on time, as in when it aired on TV.
Oh, well, shit. I
thought
it had some, special access there.
No, they spliced it in on TV. So, I don't know. It was like a underproduced,
it was like a different
camera angle. Yeah. Now, let's talk about this as a whole. Well, no, I'll save it for a little bit later.
Okay. We have Jeff Cobb and Solo Sikoa. Solo wants to give Jimmy one more opportunity to join the family. Cobb is going to take care of Jimmy. He's going to convince Jimmy to join the family by beating the shit out of him. And Solo's going to handle Jacob Fatu at Night of Champions. And that gives us Jimmy Uso versus Jeff Cobb. And Cobb won with Solo's help with the tour of the islands. Solo tries to recruit Jimmy, and Jimmy slaps the shit out of Solo. So Jimmy just gets jumped. And then Fatu saves Jimmy and moonsaults Cobb after I think he just like Samoan dropped him with ease. They're killing like every interest I had in the Jeff Cobb Jacob Fatu match. Because Fatu just comes in there and he just takes out Cobb.
Yeah, he clears house. Not going to be the. I don't know. Yeah, not going to be the collision we thought it was going to be.
Well, and Jimmy super kicks solo to save Fatu, and they have a cautious, I don't know, truce or alliance or whatever. Then later they ran into each other, and I only assumed that they spoke Samoan.
No, they didn't. They spoke. So basically, Jimmy, he told. I have the whole transcript in my head. So Jimmy told Fatu that he didn't need his help out there. And then Fatu said, well, I didn't need your help last week. And then he told Jimmy, as long as you get in where you fit in, we'll be all right. Whatever that even means.
Right? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? They were just saying catchphrases as a conversation.
Yeah. So he tells him that. Jimmy was like, yeet. And then Fatu says, yeah, I mean.
What the fuck?
So that was the conversation they had. Like, what does that even mean? As long as you get in where you fit in.
You'd be all right. Like, what? Yeah, they just kind of I don't like him as a baby face. We'll talk more about that, but yeah, I do not like babyface Fatu.
It's a little change. But
we'll talk.
Yeah, they're turning him into basically he's becoming Jey Uso. Maybe Jey Uso. Maybe Jey Uso got in his head. Oh, you don't need to do all that. You just need to get a good catchphrase. It occurred to me.
He's gonna come out through the crowd and start bobbing his head.
Yeah. Fatu, it's just me, Uso. And then he just walks down the steps and does the shake a little bit with the fans. That would be funny though.
Going back a little bit, I did think it was kind of cool that Jey Uso did the hand thing with the kids. I thought that was a nice little baby face thing.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have tag team bullshit. The Sucks are involved, so I don't give a fuck. But somehow Aldis booked a tag match between DIY, Andrade, and a mystery opponent. Obviously, there will be Rey Fenix.
Yeah. Rey Fenix.
And I didn't even have to skip ahead for that. I guessed that right off the bat because that's the only logical thing. Because they can only pair likes together. They can't diversify their bonds.
Well, they've been teaming for at least a week.
Yeah, but they're not a team.
Apparently they are.
Fair enough.
I said it's funny that they're teaming Andrade and Phoenix as a tag team, seemingly, when his brother is on the roster too.
I'm sure that's coming.
Well, I'm just saying he's in a tag team, but it's not with his brother. It's like when Matt Hardy was partners with Bray Wyatt when Jeff Hardy was there.
Was Jeff? Oh yeah, he was there.
Yeah, because they had that weird meeting. It's like, Brother Nero.
We had some tag. Wait, I already did that. Julia. I love me a good Japanese promo, so I stuck around for this one. She said Vega has a lot. Vega has to talk about her hard work, while Julia's goes without saying. Title means a lot to Vega, but means nothing to Julia. It's just a stepping stone. I love that line. Vega acts like the title belongs to her. Tonight, Julia proves it does not. Vega said some shit, but it wasn't in Japanese, so I didn't care.
Who shall be victorious?
Well, we have Zelina Vega versus Julia. So, what the fuck was Vega wearing to the ring?
A king cobra.
Jesus
Now,
Christ.
what you really should be talking about is how it was absolutely quiet when she came out. Like, no, I've never heard a no pop bigger than that. Like,
Well, she looks
no
stupid.
noise.
They were trying to figure out what the hell she was carrying. Like, if you
Well,
have ring accessories that you have to hold over your head like that, just don't do it.
I don't know. She always tries to do some crazy cosplay thing. I don't know. But it was ridiculous. And she got no pop.
Yes. Well, Julia won after a Northern Lights bomb, and thank God, Vega shouldn't be in even the same segment as a championship again. Like, I was watching this on 2 times the speed, and Vega was still very slow and clumsy.
I don't know. I thought she worked a good match. You know, I actually felt bad for her a little bit. The
Did
fact
you?
that she got absolutely zero pop. The fact that the fans care nothing about her. It's like,
She's
it's kind of sad.
boring.
It's sad. She
There's
tries so
nothing to
hard.
her.
Offline, she's so likable. She has her Twitch community or whatever. Apparently, they don't watch wrestling because she'd get some kind of pop if they did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like. She wins a match. She looks like she's gonna cry. She's done nothing but fight the Chelseas, which that's not her fault.
Yeah, booking didn't help her. See, she needs Rakishi to be yelling at creative for her.
She needs to marry Jey Uso.
Yeah, because what he said about Jey Uso could definitely fit here. She didn't. Creative wasn't behind her. They didn't line up her any competition. She was just stuck in the Chelsea Green vortex.
I'll agree with that.
But on the other hand, like, I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know how to what she could do to get people to care about her in the ring.
Not carry a fucking cobra on her head.
Yeah, that probably doesn't. She needs to go heel. Actually, she probably just needs to not wrestle and be a manager. If we're being really honest, that was her best role, is being a manager for Andrade. She needs to go back to that. But they got to have the women. Got to get them women wrestlers.
Isn't she Black's thing? Lady.
She is, yes.
Okay. Maybe they can do something with that. But I will say the right person won.
Yeah. I mean, they don't look believable, oddly enough.
Well, they gotta darken up Vega.
Yeah, you see Black and he's like covered in these tattoos, and then you see her and she
is pretty wholesome.
Yeah. So you wouldn't think that they would be together. So they got to make it believable, even though they're actually together. Now, I did want to go ahead and say I'm tired of this freaking community with the freaking spoilers. So this was in Saudi Arabia, so it aired live their time, which was like midday here. I think it was like noon when SmackDown actually aired. And there were spoilers, because not only are the content creators, they have to get on their VPN and watch it early or watch it live, but then they're also tweeting shit out. And they tweeted out, "Oh, Julia's the new champion. Not only did they tweet that out, WWE tweeted it out. Oh, watch Julia become champion tonight. And they're already posting the picture with Triple H pointing the finger. And I know what you say. Oh, well, you could just stay offline. That's what you would say. But I got a push notification for it. So I wasn't even on Twitter, and I got the push notification. Julia's the new champion. So there was no avoiding that. What am I going to just shut my phone all the way off for wrestling? And I'm not going to get on the VPN because I don't want to watch this show at all. So I'm not going to get on a VPN and watch it early.
I don't mind, I guess. There's not like a match that I can think of that I'd be like, man, if somebody spoiled that would just ruin my day. So I don't really look that deep into it.
Oh, it's like the movie people, like the movie content creators. They they get the early screening for the movie, and then they got the fucking shit in the thumbnail and title, like the big plot twist or whatever. It's like, golly, give people time to be able to see it before you do this.
That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know. But I know they gotta tweet live because that's what they do. That's how they get their little paychecks. You gotta tweet with the show. And the world doesn't revolve around America. There's that too. So it is a tricky situation. But I just wanted to get that off because, goddamn.
Well, after that, we have some more girl bullshit. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte can't act, especially Alexa Bliss. And they'll eventually be a team, I guess.
What's more is Alexa Bliss had to fly around the world just for that segment.
She did. Crazy.
Yeah.
You would think they would. Okay.
Pre-tape it or something.
Maybe they did.
I was thinking that maybe that's what happened because
they had to have. Why would you have? Because did Charlotte wrestle? She didn't wrestle.
She didn't. No.
What was she? Yeah, that had to have been pre-taped.
Yeah. What was Charlotte even there for, other than that segment?
I don't know. I rely on you for the girl stuff.
Yeah, they just had that back. Let's just say it was pre-taped because they just had that segment.
That makes more sense.
That's the only time we saw them.
Barrett interviewed Asuka and Jade Cargill. I'm sure Jade said she's going to win the girl tournament because she's the head bitch in charge. And I bet Asuka said she's going to win because either no one or Jade specifically is ready for her. Naomi was also there.
Yes. That pretty much sums it up, yeah. The crowd booed Jade and Naomi for some reason. Actually, Naomi got the shut the fuck up chance. But it's always because they were just, wanting Asuka to win in this situation.
Yeah, of course.
No other reason. Even though fans are trying to make it a thing.
Were the Street Profits booed?
I don't think they were.
Okay.
It's just the women.
All right.
And, because Bianca was also booed last time she was there too, so.
Well, we had Aldis and Pierce backstage. They briefly mentioned the tag division, and then Aleister Black comes in, and then Truth interrupted him, looking for Cena again. And Black looks super pissed.
Yeah.
And that leads us to DIY losing to Andrade and Phoenix. And they're doing a lot with this DIY heel turn that they made a big deal out of. Remember when they spent weeks and weeks getting Ciampa to turn Gargano to reclaim the tag titles, and they did, and they didn't do shit.
And now they're right back where they started before the heel turn.
Fuck me. And where's Purple Bitch? Is she with them or not? Was she there?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But, you know, there could have been some, because they got a kid, so it could have been some travel thing about that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? You're going to take their kid all the way to Saudi?
Yes. They're heels. They should leave the kid with a bowl full of food or something. And a bottle of water.
This was, though, a pretty good match to give them credit.
Okay.
Probably one of the more entertaining matches on SmackDown.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, no, I dug the Julia thing for some reason. It's my one girls match for the year. So we have R-Truth and Ron Killings. They still don't know by now. Because I think dumbfuck Cole called him R-Truth. R-Truth called himself Ron Killings. So who knows? But Black appeared, hit him with a black mass. And it says, looks like we're even now. You shouldn't drink from my cup. And then Damian Priest and Black had a thing backstage. Hayes was also there.
Yes. Damian Priest told Black to not mess with Killings. Or I don't know. Maybe he called him R-Truth. No, he said don't mess with Truth.
Yeah, see.
So, yeah, still confusion there. And then, and then Hayes told Priest to stay out of it, out of this whole thing. So Damian Priest is telling Aleister Black to stay out of R-Truth's way, and then Hayes came and told Priest to stay out of Aleister Black and Truth's way, and then Truth told Hayes to get out of his face, pretty much.
Riveting stuff.
Yes.
Well, they had the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Sucks. The whole tag division attacked the Sucks. It was retarded. I couldn't care less. Bray Dallas was laughing like an idiot. First of all, his mask is green like it's a supervillain. Like he's trying to be some DC evil genius or some shit with the stupid. He's got the mustache and it's green and he's laughing like an autist.
He is an artist. That's a good way to point that out. And it took the whole division to take out.
This didn't work for me, dog.
It took the whole division to team up to take out the Six. So
that's so stupid.
There you
go. Was Nikki Six there? Nikki Cross, whatever.
Yeah, she was there.
Okay.
She didn't do anything, obviously. Because Candace.
There's no girl to jump on off the announce desk onto.
Yeah.
We had a girl match. Tiffany Stratton won somehow. Naomi failed to cash in, I guess.
Yeah, Naomi tried to cash in. This was the last woman's standing match. Naomi tried to cash in towards the end. Nia Jax stopped her. This brought the briefcase into play. And Tiffany Stratton hit Nia Jax with the briefcase through 2 tables, and that was the end of the match. Something to note from this match, though, and something to note overall, there were no Slim Jim decals or whatever on this table, probably because they were in Saudi and meat or pork is against their whatever. They don't do pork over there, so Slim Jims doesn't fly.
Is
But there were
Slim Jim
no.
made out of pork? Slim Jim made out of real meat?
I think so. It ain't whatever it is. It ain't. It doesn't fly over there.
I just know it's in a package on the shelf of a gas station.
It's a beef stick, is what the actual
Okay.
description of it.
Well, that's not pork.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just what. Hey, this is what the internet's telling me.
Okay, I got
I'll
you.
be following it like that. This is what the internet is telling me. Is it's against their religion or whatever it is.
Gotcha. All right.
And so there was no Slim Jim. That's number one. Number two, there were no advertisement other than Riyadh season, which I don't know what that is, and I don't care to find out what that is. So all the advertisements were gone. But I do want to say though, because I've picked up on something. I don't know if anybody else in the community has mentioned it, so I want to be the first one. Since they announced, or since we've seen that the Slim Jim table sponsorship thing, every week there's been a table spot.
Yeah.
Every week.
Well, yeah, they got to pimp the Slim Jim table.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Now tables are.
Are you suggesting because we noticed it, they started doing more?
No, I'm saying ever since because they announced online. WWE didn't, like the dirt sheets. They announced that Slim Jim were going to be sponsoring the tables, and then that week we saw the tables get the sponsorship on it. And I'm saying since we've seen that, since it's actually happened, and we saw the Slim Jim table, every week there's been a table spot.
Oh yeah.
Could be a coincidence, or it could be, yes, Slim Jim is wanting to get that advertisement, so now every week there's going to be a table spot, which then.
Well, I mean, if you're going to pay for the advertisement, I don't blame them for doing more table spots.
Every week, though?
Well, if you're paying for it, it's not special. I wouldn't do it in the fucking first place, but I mean, if you're paying for it.
Okay.
You get your money's worth, I guess.
I guess. So, yeah, this is going to kill the table spot's already kind of dead, but.
Oh, totally.
Now they're really going to kill it because we're going to see it every week. It's going to be like AEW and bleeding. Oh, who's bleeding this match? Oh, where's the table this match?
Well, you have the crowd constantly calling for tables. So it's like a expected thing now. It's not special. And how often do people go onto the announce desk?
Every week.
Exactly. So it's not, yeah. It's just a thing that they do now.
Just another way to work some more advertisements in.
Well, John Cena ended SmackDown. He is going to beat Punk at Night of Champions and it's just a formality. He's a genius and Punk's outmaneuvered. And then Punk came out as the doctor of Punkonomics. And after being put through a Slim Jim table last week, there's your Slim Jim spot. Punk did a really shitty freestyle and walked away. And I was flabbergasted that Triple H made CM Punk underwhelming on the microphone.
You didn't like it?
God, no, I didn't like it.
He had some bars in there.
He had some okay lines. First of all, he's not a rapper. Okay, Cena's not a rapper either, but he has a better.
He's released a rap album. He's a rapper.
Okay, fine, but
it's actually a pretty good one too.
He's got one good song, in my opinion. But yeah, Cena has a better, I guess, flow. I don't even want to say flow. I don't know, but Punk just freestyling was not his thing,
I mean, even with
and that
Cena,
wasn't freestyling. Those were prepared lines. So
well,
rapping's not his thing.
obviously he wasn't going to freestyle. What do you think? Is he Mike Jones now? Paul Wall? He's not going to freestyle.
He's CM Punk. He's the best in the world. He
Yeah, but
drops pipe bombs.
it's different when you got to rhyme at the end of every other sentence, even
But either
though
way,
some of them didn't.
as and he was put through a table last week and verbally just abused. And for him to just do the shitty freestyle and then just walk away after. Fuck that, man.
Well, I don't know. I liked it. Maybe I was just like, I got the smoke and mirrors of hearing the Word Life song. Just
That okay, that
no.
was cool. I'll give you that. But he with the tattoos and the way he was wearing it. Remember Crazy Town?
Oh yeah, they got that one song.
Yeah, it kind of he reminds me of Crazy Town with the stupid little jersey and the hat and the jorts.
He's not Hood
Well,
or
I don't.
Limp Bizkit. Could be Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, didn't do anything for me there. I saw it was pretty polarizing too.
I didn't see that people were more so upset that I don't know. He's like corporate now. I don't know.
Well, okay, there's that, but there were people that said there were people that either liked that he did he's turning Cena's gimmick on him, and there were people that just thought he looked stupid.
It did look a little
It was
ridiculous.
hokey.
It was very, very Vince McMahon, if we're being honest. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Good, good. At least it wasn't just like a cookie cutter thing. Oh, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. Well, not if I beat you first. We're gonna have a beat off right now.
well, it didn't do anything to further my interest in the match. I'll tell you that. But let's go ahead to Night of Champions.
Oh, Night of Champions.
We're still in
There were
Riyadh.
two title matches.
Oh yeah, there were. But yeah, we're in Riyadh. Walkers are Randy Orton, then Cody Rhodes. We got the King of the Ring finals. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett. They have a grudge match. And kudos to Scarlett for looking so smoking in these conditions. She's handicapped and she's still
Figuring it out.
yeah, good for her.
I don't know. That shirt looked a little see through.
Oh.
Said, "What are you trying to get stoned? What are you doing?"
Then we have Rhea Ripley and No Definition Rodriguez. They have a street fight. And then Asuka, Jade Cargill. Got the girls tournament finals. And then CM Punk walked alone.
So I don't usually watch the walking stuff,
Yeah.
but I did this time because I was on time for the show. Where was CM Punk? Like he wasn't even in the building. Like he was outside over a bridge. Like where was he walking from?
I figured that
Storyline.
was stock footage from Chicago. He always seems to be walking outside, brooding.
Well, I'm sure it was there, but like, I don't know. Why would the driver drop him so far away from the building to where he's walking on a bridge?
I don't know. Maybe it was AEW transportation.
I guess.
Well, then we get a hype video. It wasn't bad. Just a bunch of headshots, though. And we start off with Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And I was kind of wondering, like, I knew Punk and Cena was going to be the main event, so I was kind of wondering where this would be in the card. I guess it's good that they started it off right out to the bat. But yeah, this is the King of the Ring finals, and starts off like a really good match. And then Orton hits a superplex and fucks up his back, and the tone of the match completely changes. And Cody immediately targets the back. He even uses the ring post to torture Orton with it. And every move Orton does just fucks his back up even more. And Saudi actually booed Cody, which was surprising. They were Randy Orton fans through and through. And Cody counters a RKO with a crossroads. Orton immediately hits back with an RKO out of nowhere. Crowd went wild. Might have been one of the biggest pops of the night, because they were calling for that RKO through the whole match. And Orton teases punting Cody. He decides that he just can't do it. But then he's like, no, I gotta win. So he goes for it. He misses. They trade punches. Cody goes for a Cody cutter. Orton counters with an RKO mid Cody cutter, which was cool. And Orton goes to grab a chair after Cody kicks out. Ref takes the chair from Orton, so Orton exposes the turnbuckle. And Orton ends up getting shoved into the exposed turnbuckle by Cody after they teased ramming each other into it. And Cody hits a second crossroads for the win, and he gives a speech after. And Orton looks super pissed. So at least they're not done with that.
Yep. Cody Rhodes gets Cena or CM Punk at SummerSlam now.
I wish they didn't. If they were going to do the match, I wish they didn't do the injury shit. I wish they would have just had a match.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought it added story. It added layers to it. Like Cody immediately, without hesitation, going after that injury, where the old Cody would have hesitated. By the old Cody, I mean like WrestleMania 40 Cody would have hesitated.
Right.
Just like Randy Orton did. He hesitated to do the punt, but Cody didn't hesitate. And then he also cheated to win. So
you're right. It did add something to it, but then it made it predictable, even more predictable. I don't know. This was one of the few matches on the card I was actually looking forward to. So I don't know, just kind of tainted it for me.
That's fair. I enjoyed it though.
But it was good. Yeah, I will say it was good.
I don't know, something like when Cody hit the figure four, I was like, this is wrestling right here. No flips, no dives. How many flip flops did we see? Well, there's the Cody cutter. I guess you can count that, but yeah. There was selling, there was submissions, there's figure fours, Randy Orton fighting.
And Orton's reactions was great.
Yeah, Randy fighting out of the figure four, or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he reversed it. Then they reversed it again, and they had to get to the ropes. They both got the ropes. I don't know.
Well, there's early on they did the lockup, and then Cody just chopped Randy really right in the chest, and you can tell Randy was just like, "Oh shit, this ain't dashing Cody Rhodes anymore." I don't know. His reaction was really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I did enjoy the first match there.
I enjoyed this pay-per-view. This was probably the best pay-per-view of the year for me.
That's fair.
Well, then we had a Rhea Ripley, No Definition Rodriguez hype video. They're pissed off at each other for some reason. And then No Definition Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley in a street fight, which Rhea Ripley won somehow.
So yeah, it was a street fight, a Riyadh street fight. Now, as I say street fight, you would expect that they probably fought all over the ring, right? Or fought all over the arena. They they went out to the back and they went out to the street because it is a street fight after all. Or it's a modern street fight and they stayed at ringside. And there's going to be option B there. They stayed at ringside. Um, Now, it was a good, entertaining little match, but if it's a street fight, you need to go outside of the ring. Like, fight to the back, fight to the street. We've gone over this. Every time there's a street fight, they never leave ringside. Just like the thing that they do now.
Right.
Now, this didn't help because for me personally, I had just watched Mick Foley, Cactus Jack's versus Triple H in a street fight. So, they, how hectic and crazy that was. So this didn't help things. But yeah, it was a good match. This is probably the best Raquel looked since she's been on the main roster. She made Rhea Ripley look small. And you know how Rhea Ripley is, so there was a point in the match where Rhea took off her belt and started whipping Raquel with it. And then we had Roxanne Perez. She came out, tried to help Raquel, only to get a trash can put over her head and kicked. By the way, Roxanne, with what she was wearing, probably gained another couple stalkers. So, good or bad for her. And then Rhea Ripley wins with a riptide off of the second rope that included a table bridge. So, the table was set up between the ropes, and then they were on top of the table. They did the riptide 1, 2, 3.
You're just gonna blow past the referee holding the table for Rhea Ripley.
Come on now. Come on now. It's got to be safe. So yes, I'm gonna blow past that.
That's some bullshit.
No, I'm gonna blow past it because you got to be safe. It's no different than them holding the ladder.
Then don't do it. If it's not safe, don't do it.
Well, they wanted to get the good spot there.
Then don't figure out a way to do the spot without it being blatantly obvious that that's so antithetical to what they're doing.
What really should have happened was a better camera angle that didn't show him holding the table.
What? So it looks like his hand's going up her ass or something?
Or just don't shoot him holding the table. Like shoot it differently where he's not.
He's blatantly holding the table. Don't have him hold the table.
What do you want him to kill themselves?
They're wrestlers.
Yeah, but did you see how wobbly that was?
Then don't do the spot. If it's not safe for you and Raquel to do it alone, without the referee's cooperation, blatant cooperation at that, then don't do the spot.
Well,
you don't need to do your fucking riptide off the fucking turnbuckle. We've seen it you did it to Nia Jax. It's not impressive to fucking do it to Raquel.
Well, she needed the super riptide, I guess. I don't know.
She didn't. She just wanted to do it. And again, if they should have figured out a way to do it without the ref.
And this was a street fight. It had to.
Exactly.
So, they had to have a high spot in it because it's a street fight.
Well, bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, we have Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. It's the first time we see Kross wrestle in months, and he lost. Kross had a chokehold and they decided that now's the time to do the 3 arm raises thing instead of the immediate choke out, which I thought was special. I also thought Kross kind of looked like a twat because it looked like he had the match won, and then he kept doing this like running turnbuckle move, and then he got caught with a hell of a kick out of nowhere. because that's what Sammy does.
Yep. Followed him. He went for it one too many times and got followed in.
And I believe there's some discussion of bumps. Was this the match?
Yes. So that was a rumor killer there. So they announced this match like right after Raw. And then oddly enough, like they announced this match, and then like a couple days later, we have this thing from Wade Kellerman that said that.
I think it's just Wade. Is it just Wade Keller?
Is it just Wade Keller? Oh, okay, maybe it is Wade.
I'm pretty
Keller.
sure it is.
Anyway, all of a sudden we got this little narrative now that he was saying that Karrion Kross wasn't going to be or he knew back in NXT that Karrion Kross wasn't going to be a star because he couldn't take a back bump, a proper back bump. And then all these pictures or all these clips started showing up of Karrion Kross avoiding back bumps, allegedly. Now, if you make a clip of, like, you could make a clip of anything, and if you put it together right, it's going to look a certain way. So, everybody, everybody thought then, or I'm sorry, everybody was going to be watching this match at this point, and Karrion Kross, I would say, took a lot of back bumps. I mean, you would already know it was a bullshit story because he does those Saito suplexes, which includes a back bump. But yeah, this had a lot of like, oh, let's watch this under a let's watch this under a microscope because Karrion Kross can't take a back bump. But yes, there was a lot of back bumps, so rumor killer there. But it's just funny that this kind of popped up after he gets he gets announced that he's having his first singles match in however long, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy can't take a bump though.
Yeah, I thought Sammy got plenty of offense. I just wish he lost.
He should have lost. Now, also, going back to the bump thing, what is him taking a bump? Like, let's say he couldn't take a back bump, right? What does that have to do with him being a star? Like, if bumps were the barometer of being a star, then JD McDonough would be champion right now. Like, no one, like, I don't remember anybody talking about, oh, Hulk Hogan, he doesn't take bumps right. Ultimate Warrior doesn't take bump right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is. It's not a big deal to me.
It
just put on a good match, and that's what they did.
Well, it just seems like, I don't know. Kind of seemed like they were trying to get in front of the whole Karrion Kross thing by saying that, oh yeah, he's not getting pushed because of this. Like, I don't know. Like they put out stories sometimes to make other people look bad, so it doesn't look bad on them. This, after like the R-Truth thing, firing him only to bring him back. It's like, oh, let's get this story out here so we can start to turn people on our side or something.
Well, it's interesting though, because didn't they bring him back? So why would they bring him back just to kind of stifle him?
I don't know.
Well, after that, we had a Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu hype video. Solo brought Fatu in, and Fatu got too big to handle. And Fatu also started realizing he's the only one in the group that was winning. So that probably fucked with his head. And Jeff Cobb arrived, and that further alienated Fatu from Solo, especially when Fatu overheard Solo and Cobb talking shit. Like, all gas, no brains. So Fatu attacks Solo at Money in the Bank, and later they agree to a match for the U.S. title. Which leads us to Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu, U.S. title. Solo beat Fatu's ass, which this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I do not like babyface Fatu. I do not like Fatu as a babyface in peril against a winless Solo fucking Sikoa. He's looking up at Solo like, you're just too much for me. I can't handle this offense.
Well, this is the street champion, remember?
This is not the street champion. This is the guy that fucking never wins.
This guy pinned Roman, and he pinned John Cena. Remember he obliterated John Cena in Saudi?
Forever and a day ago.
I'm just saying.
And he lost the necklace. He lost War Games. He lost every fucking match he had to Cody Rhodes. He was Cody Rhodes' biggest threat, and he never won a match. Not even a TV match. I don't even think he got the upper hand. Like, you know, when they just attack him and knock him out and shit. I don't even think he did that.
I'm sure he did. At least that.
Well, I don't think so. He's a loser. So yeah, don't like Fatu selling. Solo hit a German suplex and Fatu no-sold it. And then he starts beating Solo's ass until Jeff Cobb came out. And then the ref is distracted. And Tonga Loa comes out of nowhere. He returned. He hits, I thought it was a neck breaker. I don't know what the fuck it was.
It's like a spinning
something.
neck breaker.
He had something from, yeah. And yeah, he hits Fatu with it. But Tonga Loa sucks. So the match continued. And it was funny because they're like, Tonga Loa, that was the fail safe. Solo Sikoa put all his eggs in the Tonga Loa basket. And it didn't work out. So Fatu hits Loa and Cobb with a corkscrew plancha thing from the ring to the floor. And then Hikuleo debuts and he choke slams Fatu on the dreaded announce desk. Of course, that's Fatu's kryptonite. And Solo won with a Samoan spike.
And new United States champion.
Those Samoans must be big boys because that dude does not look 7 feet tall.
Yeah. He is 7 feet tall. And you can't teach that. Yeah, you just in AEW.
Like think about
like huge.
Think about
here.
Yeah, think about Kevin Nash and the Giant.
Yeah.
And how like they seem to tower over everybody. He doesn't have that like tower factor. He's a big boy, but I don't know. He doesn't look like a giant.
Yeah. Interesting to see how they're going to book him. He did a choke slam, so that's already a good thing. I've not seen too much of him. Like, yeah, he was in AEW and he did a couple things here and there, but yeah, I haven't seen. Like, are we about to see a true big man? A big man?
Well, I thought it was interesting because we talked about him a couple weeks ago, and you pretty much said, he ain't ready.
Well, I guess he's ready now.
Yeah. They saw something.
Yeah. I mean, he's been...
Well,
I was going to say, he's been wrestling the last few weeks on the pre-show, or not the pre-show, but I don't know, dark match. I don't know what it is, dark matches, or... Because it's not been on television, but the people there have, there's been clips of him wrestling before the SmackDown show, so I wouldn't say it's a dark match because, well, I guess it is a dark match, just not a house show because they don't do those anymore.
So what do you think about the second coming of the Bloodline 2.0?
I guess this would be Bloodline 3.0.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they can move on from the Bloodline thing at this point. I don't know.
I mean, they have Tonga Loa back, though.
Of course, it's gonna.
So now they're really
Yeah, he's
dangerous.
gonna add legitimacy to the group finally. So there's that.
It was kind of funny. During this match, I was actually feeling bad for them. I'm like, oh, man. They brought in Jeff Cobb from fucking Hawaii, and they had Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga come in just specifically for Solo's Bloodline that fucking sucked, and now they're nowhere to be seen, and they're probably going to get released. But no, sure enough, they came back, or at least Tonga Loa came back. Sure, I would imagine Tama Tonga's to follow.
Yeah, he's probably close behind. But yeah, we have this Bloodline 3.0. But see, the thing here, already the difference. Bloodline 1.0 was the main event. 2.0 was fighting for the main event. And now 3.0 is they're fighting for a mid-card title. Like this, it seems like the next iteration of the story is going to be played over the mid-card. So that's already a downgrade.
It kind of was until Roman got involved.
He started it.
No, I mean Solo's Bloodline. Like when Solo had the necklace, it still felt like it was mid card.
Well, I'm saying he was feuding, and you just said it. He was feuding with Cody. Yeah, he didn't win. Yeah, it wasn't believable that he was going to win, but he was feuding with Cody, so they were feuding for the champion, the main title. So now this is all going to be played over the U.S. title. So it's already downgrading this group to a mid-card group. So I don't like where that's heading. Because, Jacob Fatu is going to have to chase the title now. So not only is he going to chase, and then we got Jimmy Uso is going to be involved. So yeah, this is the secondary big story is going to be play out over the U.S. title. Now, that being said, maybe it's good that they'll have a story that doesn't revolve around Cena, like a big story that doesn't revolve around Cena.
True,
because
and maybe this is good for the U.S. title. Have an actual proper feud over it instead of triple threat matches.
Yeah, maybe the title's actually going to have a story. Seemingly, it's going to have a story behind it. So there could be positives out of it, but it just already seems like
we'll just wait and see.
Like you don't see this group going after John Cena.
Well, moving on, we have a girls tournament hype video. Okay. I don't remember them doing that. Not that it matters. I don't remember a hype video for the men's tournament.
There wasn't. But they also started the show. And there was 18 minutes of singing. So
fair enough.
18 minutes.
Then we had Asuka versus Jade Cargill, which Cargill won, and she did a speech.
Yes. Surprising to me because I thought Asuka was going to win this, but she didn't. Jade actually cosplayed as Storm, so.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
Well, I was going to say good for her on that one. A Storm is coming, and then she was actually Storm. Some people would say that this finish was botched because Jade Cargill, she hit the jaded, she rolled Asuka up for the pin, Asuka. Well, she rolled Asuka up for the pin, holding both of her legs, but she kind of overshot it, so it didn't look like Asuka's shoulders were down. But they didn't show an angle, so they only showed the one angle of Jade pinning Asuka the way she did. So they didn't show the other angle, which would have proven that Asuka's shoulders were up. So you're assuming that Asuka's shoulders were not down. But you don't know that because they didn't show an angle. Also, no, actually, I don't want to. Yeah, Jade Cargill won. I'm not going to break down her wrestling because, yeah. So she goes on to SummerSlam. She will be facing either Tiffany Stratton or Naomi, as they said, if Naomi happens to cash in before SummerSlam. And there you go. Hopefully Jade wins the title and then goes on a Goldberg level run and never loses for 10 years. Because that's seemingly what's happening. She's never going to lose.
It's Stratton, right? Okay. That's probably who she's going to go after, right?
Yeah, they already know. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Either Stratton or if Naomi happens to cash in.
Right. Well, I would think that Naomi would cash in. I would think that Naomi would fuck Jade.
She probably will, or she might. But I'm just saying that's the openness. Like they haven't, cards subject to change type shit. If Naomi cashes in, then it'll be Jade versus Naomi at SummerSlam. But if not, then it'll be Tiffany versus Jade. They have to leave that loop open. But yeah, it'll probably be Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill at SummerSlam.
Well, then we get to the Cena Punk hype video, which if you've been paying attention week in and week out, it was the same fucking video that they've been showing. So nothing new there. And then we have CM Punk versus John Cena, undisputed WWE title. And there was lots of back and forth with mostly Cena. And Punk looked like a sissy because R-Truth whooped Cena's ass. And Punk had a competitive match with him. They went like lots of back and forth. They were equals. Where R-Truth just beat the shit out of Cena twice. Punk gets offense and goes for the GTS. Cena blocked it, and he locks in the STFU. Punk turned the STFU into an Anaconda Vice. And then Cena escaped. He hit the FU. And then Punk gets Cena into the STFU after Cena tries another FU. Anything to add so far?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Cena escapes. Then he hits FU number 2. And he goes for FU off the top rope after Punk kicks out. Punk escapes. And he hits Cena with a diving crossbody. But Cena rolls through, lifts Punk on his shoulders, hits FU number 3. Punk kicks out. Cena is understandably pissed off at this point, and he grabs the title belt. He goes to lace Punk out with it, and he decides not to. And Punk hits Cena with the GTS. So then they trade punches. Cena goes for a shoulder tackle. He takes out the ref. Punk hits a second GTS, but the ref is out, so he can't make the pin. Then Rollins and the group they're too lazy to name come out. And the Bronze put Punk through the announce desk. Rollins calls for a ref because he wants to cash in on Cena. Ref comes running out, and Cena just shoulder tackles the ref. And he hits Rollins with an FU.
Absolutely depletes him.
Oh, yeah. It was great. So then the Bronze jumped Cena. Penta came out, and he got his ass beat. And Sammy came out, and they took out... he took out Breaker with Penta. They double-teamed him. Then Cena and Punk joined forces on Reed. and Reed gets FU'd. Punk tries to shake Cena's hand. Cena hugs Punk, and he does his little supervillain look, the same look he had with Cody. He tries to kick Punk in the balls. Punk's ready for it, and he hits a GTS. But Rollins comes out of nowhere. He takes Punk out with a briefcase, hits a curb stomp. Cena tosses Rollins out of the ring, pins Punk. And Rollins and his group were super pissed off after that. And Punk slapped hands with the fans after, or on his way out.
And Cena retains. Was it overbooked? Probably. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
But
overbooked, predictable.
Predictable?
Yeah,
You
of course Cena
predicted
was
that?
going to win. Yeah, there's no way Rollins is going to let Punk win the title. Of course, Rollins' group was going to come out and do something. I don't know why they're going after the Undisputed title when he's on Raw, but I guess that's another discussion.
Because he wanted to cost Punk.
I don't know why Sammy came out. What's his tie with the group they're too lazy to name?
Really, him? That's who you pick out of this? What about Penta?
Well, Penta got attacked by Braun Breaker on Raw.
Now remember that. And
Yeah.
so Penta, he's supposed to be out there to save John Cena, who is being attacked, who is a heel also, but we're going to leave that there. And
Yeah.
here comes Penta, his music hits, and he does his little strut thing. While he's supposed to be,
He did do that, yeah.
while he's supposed to be saving Cena.
Was he saving Cena or was he stopping Rollins?
I don't know. Either way, he was out there strutting.
Yeah, he was not in a hurry.
Cena's literally getting his ass beat. And then Sammy comes out. Sammy has been story wise, what we've seen on TV would have made more sense for it to be LA Knight, but he got taken out, so it couldn't have been him.
Oh, maybe he was hurt.
I think his was storyline, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. Not sure on that one, to be honest with you, why Sammy was there.
Okay. This is just because it was Saudi.
Maybe they could have had Yeet come out. That would have made sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Sammy was the only. I mean, the whole thing was just overbooked. Way too many people. Like as soon as Rollins' group came out, that was it. Should have been the end of it.
Well, they got to tease the cash in.
Yeah, so Rollins' group comes out. They tease the cash in. Cena stops it. Punk and Cena join forces for a little bit. Take out Rollins' group. Then it looks like Cena and they do the handshake thing, and the same finish. And Rollins comes out of nowhere, does the briefcase. Cena tosses him out of the ring, gets the pin. You don't have Penta and Sammy jumping all over the fucking place.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Penta is like in this main event scene now, so good for him. You got to work on that strut thing, though. You can't be out there strutting or you're supposed to be saving someone.
Well, Randy Orton does it.
Does he?
He walks.
I guess.
He is never in a hurry.
Yeah. It's like that time Jeff Hardy came. Well, this was in AEW, but Jeff Hardy came to save his brother. Like it was his debut. But, he still took time to do his I just wish with Penta, like they should have had the fireworks go off and everything while he was seen as getting his ass beat. Just like go full on and he's doing Zeto metal. He was like, this guy's in no hurry.
Well, that was Night of Champions.
Yeah, I think overall, I don't know, it's a pretty good show.
I enjoyed it.
There could have been some different winners, like probably Cross probably should have won. We talked about Fatu, like it would further the storyline for him to lose, and then
Right.
so that's understandable. But yeah, Cross, and probably just for selfish reasons, I would have still said Asuka should have won the women's queen. I mean, I could even go and say Raquel should have won because Rhea Ripley she didn't really need that win, and Raquel had help and still lost. So perhaps something could happen there.
And the ref also helped. It's basically a tag team match.
He helped Rhea.
Yeah. Who knows? Raquel may have won if it wasn't for the referee.
There you go. It was a handicap match.
But next week is we wrap up WrestleMania 38. Roman versus Brock.
Again. And honestly, I don't remember this one, so there you go.
Yeah, I don't think I saw this one.
I saw it, I just don't remember it.
But that's all I have.
Well, then. On that note, it is time to get into some stories. Coming up this week on some stories, we have another failed WWE wrestler turned corn star. Another WWE failed wrestler becomes an e-whore. AW, they say no to WWE talent. And CM Punk. Got to talk about CM Punk because there's some controversies, but is it really a controversy? And we could actually start there. So CM Punk. Of course, this whole week was about CM Punk. The fact that he was going to wrestle in Saudi after, saying some things about Saudi. And we didn't talk about it last week. I just let it go. But it's still here, so that's why we're talking about it now. So, of course, fans online, they said that Punk was a hypocrite for going to Saudi after, what he said. What did he say, you might be asking? I'm sure you know, but he did say to The Miz to suck a blood-covered dick or something to that effect. Blood money covered dick, is that what it was?
I don't know off the top of my head. That's about right.
So yeah, he told that to The Miz as they were in a Twitter argument. So yeah, he comes back and really you knew the second he came back, it was just a matter of time before he was going to be in Saudi, if we're being honest. Like, I mean, they just announced that the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi. What, is he going to not be in the Royal Rumble? which then
Right.
means he's not going to be at WrestleMania. Well, I guess he could do the Elimination Chamber, but I don't know. It's just going to be a matter of time.
Well, and I guess he already came back to the WWE, so he's already open to, I guess, changing certain stances. Because he once said that if he ever came back to the WWE or worked for the WWE again, he considered himself a professional failure. Which those are pretty strong words.
Yes. So, yes, he backed up on that too. Now, if the story ended there, probably wouldn't be anything to talk about. Like, what do you want the guy to do? It's they want him in Saudi. He's going to Saudi.
Right.
But the story doesn't end there because CM Punk arrived in Saudi. And they did their kickoff show, did the WWE. And on the kickoff show, he kind of had to address the moment. So let's play what happened here and see what Punk did. So this is on the kickoff show for Night of Champions in Saudi.
This guy wants me to apologize for a mean tweet I wrote 6 years ago. Hey, listen. Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I woke up and I was crabby and I wrote a mean tweet to The Miz. And I apologized to The Miz. And sir, what's your name? Mohammed? Here, watch out. I'm going to step right here. Mohammed, I sincerely apologize to you and all of Saudi Arabia. Okay?
The power of sorry.
The power of sorry. As you heard, when he came out there, he was getting heavily booed. And then he said sorry and got the and also getting shut the fuck up chance.
Yes.
And then he said sorry and they turned.
They started chanting CM Punk.
They love him now.
Yes. He sincerely apologized to Muhammad. Is that the guy he hugged?
Yes, that was also the guy he hugged.
Okay. So they probably brought him ringside so he could be all PR friendly for
Now
Saudi.
I do want to ask, like, who's that guy? This Muhammad guy. Why is he the one? Like, why is he the face of Saudi right now?
Either a random fan or maybe a journalist. Maybe some Saudi YouTuber. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's like, anyway, the apology. Do you have any thoughts on the apology? Like, should he have done the apology? Was that too much?
It makes sense. First of all, he's in Saudi Arabia after saying, I mean, regardless of what you think about Saudi Arabia, he's a guest in Saudi. So it makes sense that he would apologize in that moment. Does he have to be sincere in the apology? That's up to him.
Well, that was another question, if he was sincere or not.
Oh, I'm sure he was sincere to that fan. I don't know. I don't think the excuse was sincere. Like, I just woke up and I was crabby, so I decided to just lash out that way. It's the Miz. I mean, there's plenty of ammunition you could have used.
That's true. Yeah, he wanted to get his shit off, but it's just funny that basically WWE made him bend the knee for what he said. Like, they didn't forget. They got him back they got him on the rosters. Like, you're going to Saudi, boy, and you're gonna apologize.
I'm sure they had a conversation with him. I'm sure today's WWE would not force people to go to Saudi.
Oh, yes, they would.
Who got forced to go to Saudi?
I mean, everybody. Because he's Mr. TKO, so TKO. This deal is like the big deal for them. The Saudi deal.
He is definitely more of a company man than when he first started. That's for sure.
Yeah, but and I know that a lot of people probably giving Punk shit on this are going to be the same people. Let's say he wasn't talking about Saudi. Let's say he's talking about a certain community, if you will. This would be the same. I'm going to leave it right there, by the way. But you know what I'm putting down.
Well, there's a couple of communities that come into mind, but I'll let you go.
You can have either one of them. So
okay.
I'm just saying, if he said something negative or if he said something about one of those communities,
It'll be the end of his life.
Yeah, people would be yelling at the top of their lungs for him to apologize or something. So I'm just saying the same people who are giving him shit about apologizing for this would be the same people that if he did say something about one of those communities would be calling for his job or calling for whatever it is.
And here's the difference. Punk apologized and they immediately forgave him. They were willing to embrace him after the apology. Those other communities you apologized to, you were still a fucking villain. There's nothing you can say. It's the end of your life. So I think that's a good lesson on forgiveness, if anything. That's a good characterization of the Saudi people.
Yeah, and it is good on them because they immediately moved on. They didn't still hold it against him. It was like, oh, he said it. That's all we needed. It's like an instant they made amends thing.
Yeah, like I said, he already went back on the whole not ever working for WWE again. So him going back on other things, just like if you've already backtracked on one thing, it shouldn't surprise you that he would backtrack on another thing, if he's even backtracking.
I don't know if he's, or the word hypocrite's being thrown around a lot.
Oh,
but again, it's your employer, and you knew when you signed there that this was an inevitable.
This was a possibility. Yeah,
like you had to take into account. Well, they do go to Saudi quite frequently, at least twice a year. So maybe if I sign there, I have to take that into account.
I'll at least be asked. And then he'll be put in the awkward position of having to decline.
Yeah, and he's declined it for a couple times. I think they've been 2 other times since he's been back. So one, he got like storyline injured, and I think both times he's got storyline injured.
That makes sense.
Or one, he just didn't show up on TV until after. But yeah, it's just like it was gonna happen. So I don't know why everybody's up in arms on that, but then you had more people pile on because he apologized. But like I said, I just think it's the same people who would, had it been another community, they'd be going. It'd be 10 times worse, and they would be like demanding an apology.
Well, it's a shame on WWE because they kind of worked it into the storyline that Cena backed Punk into a corner that if he wants his title shot, if he wants to save wrestling, that he needs to do it in Saudi Arabia. He needs to break his principles in order to save the WWE. And WWE did nothing with that. Triple H and his infinite creativity did fucking nothing with that.
Well, Cena mentioned it.
Cena mentioned it, but Punk could have taken a week to decide, or it could have been like
Oh,
this big
yeah.
decision. It could have been like Cena just taunting the shit out of Punk.
Yeah, they could have made it more of a dilemma
Yeah,
instead of him immediately
instead of just a little
saying
side
yes.
thing, and a side note.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they could have played it up a little bit more. I was still thinking halfway that like maybe even Punk gets attacked and he still doesn't show.
Well, think about
Like
it
they
though.
have to cancel the match.
If we see on TV that Cena breaks Punk into going to Saudi Arabia, would those people still say he's a hypocrite if he didn't just immediately decide to go to? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, it could have been a lot more of a struggle. Like it could have even been like, yeah, CM Punk. He just, I mean, I don't know how far they wanted to go with it, but him just flat out refusing,
Yeah, like, oh
and
shit,
then
no. And then Cena the next week, he taunts Punk, like Punk's too much of a pussy to fucking face me in Saudi.
yeah, you got to do it on my terms if you want to do it, and that's the terms.
That
And
would
yeah,
have been
he
a lot
just
more. I would have enjoyed that more than seeing Punk lying in a crushed up table for 20 minutes while Cena does his promo,
probably got a good nap out of it.
or Punk cosplaying as the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Now, Triple H did say this is their last match, but I think they will actually. I'm now a firm believer that Punk's going to be his final match
We'll see.
after what. Well, yeah, him or Orton. I guess I just already backtracked. But yeah, that's the CM Punk thing. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Punk is a hypocrite or not? I guess that's the best way to put it. Moving on, we go to AEW. They have their All In show coming up, so good for them. And this story broke from Fightful. So you know how the couple years ago you'd have an ex WWE guy or a WWE guy that would get fired after their post WrestleMania layoffs, and then that person would show up in AEW probably a couple weeks later, and thus goes the cycle, turning AEW into what many would say is like TNA 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a question. Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, that was a weird question, but there we go. Well, it was reported from Fightful. This comes from Fightful
Are you sure about that?
that it came from Fightful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just I'm sorry, the source isn't Fightful.
No, the story is about. Yeah, it came from Fightful.
Gotcha.
So, as the story goes here, there's a major change to AEW's policy towards signing ex-WWE wrestlers. And then the subheadline is AEW wants to be way more picky when signing former WWE talents. On the heels of Swerve Strickland saying that signing for AEW should be like signing for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's okay. there's there's now somewhat of an update on AEW's policy on bringing in prospective talent, particularly former WWE names. When asked about AEW having an eye on WWE release talent, Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful said that Tony Khan promotion is being way more picky with ex-WWE stars. Sapp pointed out how previously such talent has come into WWE, not been happy with AEW's process, leave the company, only eventually to return to WWE. Sap did add how there will be some former talent that will end up in AEW, but that's not going to be a huge amount. So basically, AEW shutting their doors for ex-WWE talent. No particular talent were named, but obviously there would be like Rusev, Aleister Black, Murai May what doesn't count particularly, but you could say that's just another talent that jumped. And then there's Sean Spears. I think he's still in NXT, or maybe he's not. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to run this off the top of my head, and I'm just blanking on the names that went to AEW and then went back to WWE. As for released WWE talent that AEW has signed up, there are countless names who've been let go by WWE only to make their way to Tony Khan's company. From a quick look through AEW's lifespan, there's Jake Hager, Saraya Page, CJ Perry, Lana, Mark Henry, the Hardy Boys, Bobby Fish, and Parker Boudreaux. Where's he been? He hasn't even. I don't think he ever made it to television. He was the next Brock Lesnar, that Parker Boudreaux guy.
Well, he left. He got released apparently
from AEW too.
Yeah, it says some of the released WWE talent to become all elite, only to depart AEW down the line.
Oh, I guess I could have just read on. Anyway, so that's the story there. So AEW seemingly wants to not be a stepping stone back to WWE.
Well, good for them, because they haven't done anything with WWE talent aside from, I'd say, Swerve Strickland.
Well, yeah.
Well, maybe yes. John Moxley, although people seem to hate him.
People hate John Moxley, but he is main eventing their.
Yeah, they're doing something with him.
Yeah, he's main eventing their biggest show.
Yeah, Saraya was a waste. Adam Page has been a waste. We'll see what happens with Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business. Everybody hates Mercedes Moné.
They do, but she's undefeated, and she has 6 belts. So,
which doesn't help, because all that does is make her think her shit doesn't stink even further.
Well, she. We're talking about under you, so I don't think she would fit into that category.
That's fair.
Tony Storm also pretty big after going to AEW. So it has worked out for some. I think it is good for them, but I also think it kind of takes away from, I don't know, like it could potentially hurt the TV product, because now you're not going to bring in good talent on the fact that they might leave. And how do you prevent that too? Now,
they had good talent and they ran it off. So why would the good talent come?
Well, there's always going to be more talent to bring in. Okay. Now, they did have there was another story that there's a new thing or edict or something. Like, if you wrestle for AEW, you can't immediately sign to WWE.
Well,
that's a new edict too.
Isn't that like a 90-day no-compete clause?
Well, it's not that, because they're not contracted, but they're just saying like, hey, like they do like the Worlds Collide or whatever they call it.
I see what you're saying. When they did the tryout matches.
Well, no, like the cross-promotional thing. So like they just did one with CMLL. Mm-hmm. They did the New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. So there's like this new thing. It's like, oh, if we use you, you can't immediately sign to WWE.
Okay.
Basically, let's just call it the Stephanie Vaquer rule.
Yeah, she used AEW as basically a trial match.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm like, you can't really prevent it. I understand it's not the best thing to, and it makes you look bad if they just run back to WWE. They're basically using you to get back to WWE, but you're going to hurt your product if you don't continue, because a part of AEW is bringing in new talent. Unfortunately for them, that's just part of the show. Every pay-per-view is like, oh, who's debuting? Like, we were expecting Cedric Alexander to debut, which he didn't. He ended up in TNA. Cora Jade, Elena Black. Now, she's just like, every time she gets a chance, she's saying she wants to go to AEW. So, like, you're just going to shut talent out just on the fact that they might go back?
I think it's a good thing because they haven't done anything with the WWE talent that they brought over.
Well, just certain talent.
Most talent.
And it's not their... Yeah, they're not doing anything with them, so it's not their fault that they go back. Like, if it works out, then I don't think they would go back.
Well, no, they have this big Edge.
He's hurt, I think.
Yeah, but when he wasn't fucking hurt, he's fucking boring. He's made he made a big splash on his debut, and he's done nothing since. Nobody gives a shit about him. Nobody gives a shit about Mercedes Moné. Nobody gives a shit about Jon Moxley. The only time they talk about either of the two, it's for negative reasons.
Well, that's because they're haters like you.
Fine. Christian. Nothing.
Oh,
Paige.
He's one of the big deals in the company.
He was, and then until everybody started getting tired of his fucking daddy shtick.
No one's tired of him.
Yeah, they were tired of it.
He's still doing it, by the way. As a matter of fact, he and his son, who's not even his son, are on this journey to become the first father-son tag team champions.
Jericho, who they want to cancel.
Well, he hit on a woman, so
they brought Big Show Mark Henry, who they even questioned were still even in the company at certain points. And when Big Show did wrestle, he looked like he shouldn't have ever wrestled ever again. He was zigzagged.
Big Show, yeah, that was a mistake all around.
So no, and even their own fucking people, like MJF is lesser. That was their biggest fucking star, aside from CM Punk, and he is nothing now.
He's getting over the Hurt Business.
Getting over an AEW is not the same as like, I don't know. It's not like people aren't. He's not becoming like a household name type shit. He's not making a splash. You don't see like headlines and headlines of great MJF shit. Yeah, he'll pop up every now and then, but that's not like. That's not the center focus on anybody's wrestling radar.
Yeah, he's kind of being in the background.
Exactly. And he shouldn't be. He should be like your main event heel. He should be the Ric Flair of this generation. And they fucked it up.
Well, they're still... I think he has to kind of sit on the sidelines because of the Mox title run.
Which everybody seems to be exhausted with. They were exhausted with it like the beginning of the year.
That's true. Absolutely.
So, yeah, they need to stay away from the... And, yeah, Black and Andrade, they wanted to leave immediately. Ditto Rusev. So yeah, all of the WWE talent, I'd say. Swerve Strickland's the only one that's been like a fan favorite.
That's true. Oh, Cody. We forgot about Cody. But
Yeah, well, they ran off Cody, and they ran off Punk.
and Punk, yeah, right. I mean, but I don't know. Yes, they did underuse the talent, or they didn't underuse them. They just stopped using them. But these talents, we've already had this kind of conversation, but they go to AEW, they get a character, and then they go back to WWE with that character that AEW created, if you will, or
Who's done that?
within AEW. Like Miro, this Redeemer gimmick. He's kind of the Redeemer gimmick. He's back in WWE with it.
What if the Redeemer gimmick
Cody,
is what? What if the Redeemer gimmick is what Rusev did before he went to the WWE? Because that seems to be what they do, is they revert back to the shit that they did before WWE.
did he wrestle before WWE? I don't know.
Let me check.
I have no idea what Rusev did before he was in WWE.
I would assume he wrestled for Bulgaria. I don't know. Early career. Moved to Bulgaria, US.
Then why didn't he come? Whatever the reason there, why didn't he come into WWE with that gimmick then? If that's because it was a different regime and they wanted him to have his own. Well, I guess I just answered my own question because it's Vince McMahon, who's creative, so he so he wants to come up with his own shit.
Well, he was trained by Gangrel.
Oh, there you go. Who's a porn star now, or maybe not.
Well, he under Gangrel and Rikishi at the Nox Pro Wrestling Academy.
You know, you're doing something when you got Big Goose.
While wrestling for VPW, he was. So I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't say anything about like his gimmick or anything. Then he went to WWE. So about 2 years on his own, went to WWE. He was in FCW. I don't know if he was Rusev.
I don't know, but what I do know is they go to AEW, we see something different, and then they come back, and that difference is there too. But again, that could just be the lack of creativity out of the current regime.
You know, kudos to Aleister Black for being the same thing constantly.
Yep. No character change there. He's just him.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but there you have it. AEW refuses to be a stepping stone for WWE, for better or worse. As usual, let us know what you think about it in the comments. Is this a good or a bad thing for AEW? And we move on to our final story. The final story being another failed WWE star chooses to be an e-whore. This week, we have Tegan Nox. Would have been her WWE name. She announced via her Instagram that she's joining Mandy Rose, Elektra Lopez, Cora Jade, Lacey Evans, Matt Riddle in the venture of OnlyFans. She announced that her OnlyFans launched, well, actually yesterday. Uh-oh. We're going to do some live leaks? No. Boy. That'd be the most cutting edge show on the planet. We just looked at it live.
It'd be the shortest show on the planet.
Why? Because we got shut down.
Oh yeah, they'd shut us down quick, I think.
Illegally searching for like some. Anyway, first of all, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but
If there's a nipple, they'd shut us down.
yes, Tegan Nox announced that she is launching her OnlyFans via her Instagram. She said, "This has been a long time in the making. I've always been very self-conscious and unconfident person. I don't know why that's necessary. But after a long time of working on my brain and body, I'm finally saying, fuck it. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. So come check out my OnlyFans and subscribe, of course." Big step forward for womanhood, I guess, joining OnlyFans. So, yeah, as I alluded to, she joins a long list of ex WWE people who have joined OnlyFans. Just to name a few, we have Elena Black, who was Cora Jade, Mandy Rose, Elektra Lopez, who flew way under the radar. No one's talking about her OnlyFans, but she has one. And Matt Riddle and Lacey Evans. That's just off the top of my head. But is this becoming, the question here is this becoming too much? Like, is it becoming like a oversaturated thing? Like the circle seems to be a wrestler, make it to WWE, get released, start OnlyFans. That seems to be the circle. Not go to another company, not like just start OnlyFans and do your cash grab.
Yeah, it seems lazy.
It is lazy. But of course they would make you make it to WWE, you get simps, for lack of a better term. So they will follow you to that OnlyFans page. Probably a lot of them want you to join or wants one, and then you open one, and then so it's an easy cash grab.
Yeah, that's why I said it was lazy. It
It
also
is.
kind of shows that, I don't know, I feel like the women especially, they're kind of there as a stepping stone to maybe Hollywood or acting, and they fail miserably or they don't get any traction. So the next logical step is to show their tits.
Yeah, I mean, no knock on them; they can do it.
Yeah, you appreciate it.
My illegal search history is gonna love it, but I don't know. It just seems like it's a growing pandemic of this happening. It's gonna get saturated, obviously, like everything does. A couple years ago, it was everybody starts a podcast. Now, it seems that's become saturated.
You don't
And by
say.
well, I'm saying like ex wrestlers and stuff starting a podcast, or really it was. We could just like expand that out to ex stars. So NBA stars, NFL stars, movie actors, actresses, just everybody started a podcast. That was the gold rush. Now it seems the gold rush has turned into OnlyFans, which is good because less competition for us, unless we start one. We'll touch tips for the right amount of money.
Speak for yourself there, man.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just a pandemic of, or it's just, it's the next gold rush.
I wouldn't consider it a gold rush until we see that Nyla Rose account. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna seek that one out. They can have that one. Oh, Abaddon, which is probably the weirdest one. She has OnlyFans after leaving AEW, but that's one of the weirder ones. And another, yeah. You want to confuse? You want to be confused? That's the one for you. But I will say, just for me personally, after like this door has to close. This whole ex wrestler going to OnlyFans, it has to close. So after Lola Vice and Nikita Lyons, it's got to stop. The door has to shut after that. And maybe Sky Blue. Sky Blue, she can get into.
Yeah.
But after that, no more. Because what's going to happen? Well, maybe no. It needs to keep going. Because what's going to happen is fans are already, like, you can see even in these comments on the page here, fans are already knowing that, oh, you're just going to get bikini pictures, basically a paid Instagram account. Like, they never show anything. Well, if enough of them join, it's just going to have to escalate. And then they're going to have to start showing stuff. Like, they're just going to go up and up and up. And then, yeah, to get any traction, they're going to have to show something.
Have you created an OnlyFans account just for bikini pictures and you subscribe to that?
Yeah, you're in the mud. Like, what are you doing with your life? But I guess to praise her, one person who did address OnlyFans and said she is not joining would be Saraya, aka Paige. She responded to a fan after all these OnlyFans announcements. She responded to a fan that said her OnlyFans would. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm pulling it up right now. Where is it? Maybe if I type right, that would work.
And this is Paige?
Yes.
She doesn't need an OnlyFans.
Well,
we already got a good video of her.
Well, yeah, a fan said, if you open to OnlyFans, you can print money. And she said, I know it would, but I don't want to do that. So she says no to OnlyFans while everybody else is saying yes to it. So,
oh, now she's acting above it when we already saw what her insides look like.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was years ago.
It's still the same hole.
It is. The internet is forever too. So
it sure is.
You can try to outrun it all you want, but you can't. But I still say good for her for at least trying to have some kind of moral high ground.
Ever getting tag teamed?
Yes. Yes. After that, that was years ago. Room. Yes. But it was years ago. She's turning her life around.
What if Vince was holding the camera? Twist.
I don't think it was. He would have got in there.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't find it. I should have bookmarked it. Did I bookmark it? No, I didn't. The hell? Yeah, I don't have it. Sorry, don't have it. But yes, she did say that she is not joining OnlyFans. So I say good for her. And also good for Tegan Nox for joining OnlyFans. If that's what she wants to do, if that's how she has to make the money, good for her. No judgment here. I'll be hopefully I can pound it out with some with some with some good stuff. I'll be pounding it out, you know. Be a big supporter of her future endeavor.
Actually, I don't know. You're more hip to the OnlyFans than I am.
Well, I wouldn't never actually pay for it. Let's not get it twisted here. I would actually like pay for OnlyFans.
Yeah, but you pay attention who's joining and who's you know the policies and shit.
Yes,
You probably own stock.
I wish. Be rich. But yeah, there you have it. Tegan Nox, and we can leave the link if you want. If you so want to indulge yourself in the OnlyFans, we can leave the link for it in the video. And because we do, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But that is all we got. So on that note, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel out. We were up to, I believe, 7 in the chat. So, and Mike is very active in the well, he was very active in the chat. So, shout out everybody who was in the chat. Shout out everybody who stopped by. Well, on that note, is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And survey says one more for the good guys.